you were saying that you help other businesses get into government contracting. Like, do you like what's your game plan or
Yeah.
blueprint, or do you use that same blueprint that you went through to teach the government contractors that you are helping now?
So I would say definitely not like what I started out doing because I learned so much. I worked for the small contractor for a little over 5 years. And where I started versus where I ended was just truly night and day from, all those lessons that I learned. So I bring those now to help really, like I like to say, turn years into months, which is very much the case because we have small businesses that are winning their first contracts in a couple of months as opposed to, a much longer potential, life cycle. Um, and for me, it's like when I left the company that I worked for, I had signed a 2-year non-compete. So I couldn't go after opportunities. And I didn't even know if I was going to stay in government contracting. But then ultimately, what I ended up doing was like, hey, I have such a repository of strategy and information, and just experiences and stories and things that I've lived, traveling all over the country, winning contracts, managing these contracts, being in situations that I never thought that I would be in. Wrote a whole book about it, like literally a book about it. And just, I didn't want to lose all that because once you're out of it, you're like, when am I ever going to use this again? Right. So I kind of wrote everything down. And then that eventually kind of segued to a YouTube channel, which segued into people saying, hey, can you help? And then me taking all those lessons and things that I learned of what to do and what not to do quickly as a GovCon startup, to start applying that so they don't have to make all those mistakes themselves. So that's, it's a very not like necessarily groundbreaking thing. It was like a very organic growth, I would say.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And so how do you help businesses? Like, so say like I'm a construction company, and I
Okay.
want to now start doing government contract, and I reach
Mhm.
out to you. Like, how do you help?
For sure. So, I offer what's called, what I refer to as more like done with you, because I'm well aware of this, especially nowadays where somebody could kind of like drop you in a course, maybe get on a weekly group call or something, and who knows how many people are going to show up on that. And nothing negative about that. I think there's really helpful resources at all stages of the game. I'm
Mhm.
just more involved. So we have pipeline bid tracker. I review all of your proposals. We pretty much put like a 12-month milestone targets together. I help you build out what I call your umbrella. I recommend an umbrella strategy where you're not just going after one NAICS code for opportunities. We want to
Mhm.
avoid Goldilocks syndrome, which means not finding
Mhm.
enough opportunities versus finding too many opportunities, right? So that really dials
Mhm.
into teaching systems, bid, no bid frameworks, things like that, but in a very practical sense so that we can very quickly start putting numbers on the board. Because if you're talking to me, that's the only thing that you should be focused on, especially if you have $0 revenue, in your business as a startup. That's just a hobby. You don't have a business if you don't have any money coming in. You have a hobby.
Yeah.
So we need to quickly
Mhm.
turn that
Mhm.
over to getting some numbers on the board.